Hi, I'm Samantha Smith and this is my story. At a very young age, I was in foster care for as long as I can actually remember. I was in 13 homes by the age of 9, and the reason I was put into foster care is because my biological father sexually assaulted me as a baby, and my mom did not try to protect me or my little brothers from it. So the state took us all. When I was very, very young, I was placed in homes with both of my brothers until I was about 5. At age 5, I was placed with my baby brother, Jonathan, and we kind of bonded. We were best friends, and I helped raise him. At age 6, I had a foster mom. Her name's Edith, and I still talk to her every now and then. She fought for the 3 of us to be in a home together, and I remember that day like it was yesterday. My little brother, Joshua, got off the bus, and he ran and hugged us and cried because he was so excited to see us. He hadn't seen us in forever, it felt like. That mom also taught me a lot in life. She told me I could be anything I wanted. And I was there for 3 years. At age 8, I was placed into what I thought would be my forever home with the Crittendens. And although I still get along with some of the family members, the parents I had were not the best. In this home, I was very malnourished and severely neglected and abused. What led to the abuse and neglect was I was diagnosed with RAD, which is reactive attachment disorder, meaning that I don't get attached to very many people, and if I do, you have to be significant in my life for me to do that. I was also diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and trichotillomania. The depression and anxiety kind of led to the trichotillomania. Trichotillomania usually comes from someone who was in kind of like a fatherless home from all the research I've done, and it just causes whoever's affected to pull out their own hair for kind of like a relief. And as the years have gone by, I almost don't do it anymore. And it's very hard to deal with trichotillomania because you're constantly trying to stop yourself from doing something you don't want to do. And the depression and anxiety is real hard to deal with, and I have what they call functional. Like, you can't see it on the outside because I hide it with a smile. And with also being diagnosed with ADHD as a 6-year-old, I have to make lists at work and have a set routine to everything. Like, when I come to the gym every day, I have a list, and if I don't go by that list in order, it doesn't get done, and it won't get done. I remember as a 5th grader, going to a class to read a story to kindergartners, wearing pretty girl clothes with flowers all over them, and little kids thinking I was a little boy dressed in girl clothes. This abuse had been going on for 2 years until I finally got somebody to come and visit the house. The night that they visited the house, they interviewed me, my little brothers, and my dad. My mom was not home at the time because she was at work. DHS obviously believed my story, and my dad didn't take it so well. He claimed that I had lied to DHS. And when I left their home, I remember having bruises from the bottom of my back all the way to my knees. And I was placed into an emergency foster care home that night. I think it was over spring break. And the home was actually in Grove. I don't remember their names, but they were so very, very nice. And they took me to Walmart to buy brand new clothes and brand new everything so I could restart my life and have a clean slate. Then that Monday morning, I was at DHS from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. until I finally got into my caseworker's office, and she said, "I have a home, but I have a question for you." And I said, "What was it?" And she said, "The mom is black and the dad is white. Are you okay with that?" And I said, "Yes, as long as they don't treat me the way I was treated in this last home." And she said, "Okay." And that's when my family now got the phone call about me, and they said yes. And I was this little bitty 12-year-old with no hair, malnourished, and beat up and bruised. And I remember the mom being really young, which she still is, and they were just so welcoming and accepted me as their own. And later on, after the adoption, I found out they were only supposed to have me for 2 weeks, and I've been here now 7 years, and I can't imagine my life any different. Adoption to me just means having somebody there to constantly love you and tell you how successful you can be. And actually this past month, from April 1st to today, which is April 30th, is Child Abuse Awareness Month. And this month hits the heart because I was one of those kids that was not only abused by my biological parents but my first adopted home. And I feel connected to all those other kids that went through what I had to go through, and adoption just changes everything and makes you feel like you're actually loved. Whereas if you're in foster care, you don't feel like you're loved as much. I had poor dental hygiene and poor hygiene in general when I was there. Like baths, because I used to wet the bed real bad, and it was from abuse and not being properly potty trained. I would wet the bed and they would make me take vinegar cold baths because that's what they thought cleaned me, but in reality I smelled way worse than actually being in my own filth. I also remember having to share the same bath water with my brothers, so they would take their warm baths and then I would get in to a cold bath, and it was just awful. My mouth, when I came here, I had I think 12 cavities, and we had to get that fixed because they wouldn't let me brush my teeth. I remember once I chipped my tooth and we got it fixed the first time and the filling fell out and they wouldn't let me go get it fixed. And so I had this little bitty snaggle tooth looking thing when I moved here to Commerce. And I'm just glad I'm not in that home anymore. The last time I saw my brothers was 7 years ago, the night I left. I remember my little brother Jonathan, who I was closest to, crying, and my brother Joshua, who turns 18 a month from today, punching me, saying that I shouldn't leave them because they loved me so much and didn't want me to go. I feel as I was still with the Crittendens, I don't feel like I'd be as successful as I am today. Like, I graduated high school with 3 medical certificates. I don't know how many high schoolers can say that. I also graduated high school with a 3.3 GPA, and I didn't have that when I was with the Crittendens. I had like a 0.2 because they wouldn't let me do my homework. In 5 years, I will be graduating college. And I actually changed my major Friday. I don't feel like it's in my heart to be a nurse anymore. I want to work directly with foster kids. And this is kind of the first time I've told my parents, but I just want to be a social worker for kids who went through what I went through. There's so many great memories that I can think of since coming to the Smiths. Oh goodness. My Sweet 16 was a pretty great memory. I remember getting a brand new car. I think I almost peed myself when it got presented to me. Graduating high school is probably my favorite memory because I was told I wasn't going to do it, that I wouldn't be able to. And I worked so hard to be able to do that. And then I got voted to walk in Miss Merry Christmas, and only 5 girls in the whole school in the senior class get to do that, and I was one of the 5 girls that got voted to do it. Or walking in homecoming my senior year, I didn't think I was ever going to be one of those girls that got to wear a pretty dress, and granted I wasn't queen, but I still got to do it. Oh, there's so many. One of my favorites actually happened 5 years ago today, and I was finally officially a Smith. I could meet my birth parents and say something to them, I would tell them thank you, because I wouldn't be who I am and where I am today if it wasn't for what they did to me. And sometimes I wish I could really meet them and face to face say thank you, but I haven't seen them since I was 5, since my mom lost her parental rights to me. If I could see my brothers today, I have 4 brothers. I have 2 that are older than me that I don't know, and if I could see them today, I would tell them, I would just give them a hug. I don't know what I would say. And my 2 younger ones that I know, I would just hug them and tell them that I love them and that I'm always there for them and to not give up on their dreams. I could have a conversation with my previous foster parents. I would tell all 13 of them thank you for everything that they've done, because I know the majority of those homes taught me how to love and forgive and have respect for my elders and to be anything I can be. Especially Edith, who I still have contact with because she engraved her number in my head. I talk to her occasionally and she always tells me she loves me and she's very proud of me, and I think that's just amazing. That thought has crossed my mind a lot. I have so much respect for the parents who do it, and there's another organization in this area called BACA, and I've thought about, man, if I could ride a motorcycle, I would join that group, because they're bikers against child abuse, and they just go around to different homes and they rescue kids that are in those kind of situations, and it touches my heart. It makes me cry every time I see their signs or see them in their little posses riding around town. What keeps me going and not falling back into horrible habits is just the love of God. I'm in 2 church organizations at the college I attend, which is NEO, and it's CSF and BCM, and I go there every day that they have a Bible study or a little meeting. And BCM probably has the biggest impact on me. The director, Kimberly, talks to me and encourages me. My best friend, Kayla, we went on a couple retreats together, and we'll pray together, and she'll hug me and we'll talk heart to heart. And she always encourages me, and she's like, don't worry about this, you know God's in control. But the #1 thing that keeps me going is knowing that God is there no matter what.